Hey, I'm getting ready to read the next chapter of Judy Moody and Stink, the big bad blackout. And the last time we left off, Judy had some kind of plan in mind, and I think she was going to play it on Grandma Lou, if I'm not mistaken. And this chapter is called Up Periscope. Judy hurried up, whispered her idea to Stink. They raced upstairs. Stink got go get a pair of Dad's shoes and your hurricane pin and some pretzels. Hurry before Grandma Lou comes up to take her nap. Stink didn't even mind Judy bossing him. Pranking Grandma Lou was going to be even better than the fake hand in the toilet joke. Judy got the periscope from her room, the one she had made from coffee cans, oatmeal containers, and tissue boxes, and leaned it up against the wall in the hall so it would be ready. Next, she tied a piece of thread to a single pretzel and put it with other pretzels on a plate on the nightstand. She flicked the 5-in-1 pin to make sure it worked. She, Judy Moody, with Stink's help, was going to ghost Grandma Lou good. Hey, how about sound effects? Stink said, coming back with Dad's boots. I have a bunch on the computer. Stink, Blackout, remember? We'll have to make our own sound effects. Go get one of Mom's fancy water glasses, but don't let her see you take it. Judy and Stink rigged up the greatest ghost trick ever. Then they hid in Stink's room and waited. Stink could hear Judy breathing. It sounded a little like a ghost. A chill crept across his back. I think I hear her, said Stink. Shh! Here she comes. Grandma Lou went into Judy's room and closed the door. Judy and Stink counted to 100 twice. Ghost time, Judy whispered. She motioned Stink to follow her into the hallway. Stink made one-legged clomping sounds outside Judy's room with a boot of Dad's. Judy scratched on the wall and tapped on the bedroom door. No answer. Grandma Lou must have fallen asleep. I don't think she heard our ghost, Judy whispered. Stink mimed opening the door a little. Judy turned the knob and slowly opened the door a crack. Stink made creaky door sounds with his best squeaky door voice, as if a ghost were entering the room. Judy pushed her periscope through the crack. She spied on Grandma Lou. Milo? Candy Cane? Did you hear something? They heard? Grandma Lou asked. No, I guess it was just my imagination. Cue the ghost, whispered Judy. Stink wet his fingers with spit and rubbed it around the rim of the fancy water glass. The glass made ghosty, goosebumpy sounds. Even Judy got the shivers. Did you hear that? Asked Grandma Lou, asked the animal. No. Okay, I guess I'll go back to sleep. Cue the pretzel, Judy whispered. Stink also carefully pulled on the end of the string. Crash! The whole plate of pretzels fell to the floor except for one. One pretzel walked across the floor and out the door. A walking pretzel? Now that's strange, they heard Grandma Lou say. Unless it's a... No, it couldn't be. And now for the icing on the cake, thought Judy. Stink handed her his flashlight pen. Judy turned on the pointer. A small green beam of light shot out like a laser. Through the open crack in the door, Judy slowly spelled out 3 letters on the wall of her room for Grandma Lou to see. B-O-B. Ghost, they heard Grandma Lou screech. Ghost in the house. Bob, it's back. Through the periscope, Judy saw Grandma Lou jump up in bed. Quick, hide the stuff, she whispered, yelled to Stink. Stink tossed the ghost's eyes into his room. Judy tried to hide the periscope behind her back. Grandma Lou grabbed Milo and Candy Cane and dashed out into the hall, almost crashing into Judy and Stink. Grandma Lou, said Judy. You look like you saw a ghost. Ghost? Grandma Lou pointed toward Judy's room. It's Bob. He's back. Ghost? There's no such thing as a ghost, said Stink. Pretzels don't just up and walk by themselves, hissed Grandma Lou. I told you, ghosts love pretzels. Judy snickered. Stink bit his cheeks to keep from laughing. Grandma Lou narrowed her eyes. Wait just a cotton candy eating second. I see a ghost, and why aren't you too scared? You're up to something, aren't you? Judy shook her head. Stink tried to keep a straight face, but he couldn't hold it for one more second. It was us, Stink cried. Jump! Judy bit into a pretzel and grinned. The pretzel eating ghost is Judy and me, Stink cried. We pranked you. We pranked you. We ghost pranked you so good. Judy and Stink rolled on the ground laughing. And that's the end of this chapter, The Big Bad Blackout. Have a great day. We will finish this book tomorrow.